Hey guys, my name is Tanya and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a book haul for you. These are just some books that I've acquired over the last few weeks. Like I've said in previous videos, I don't buy a lot of new books. So some of these were Christmas gifts, a couple of them I picked up at a used bookstore, and the other are from the library. I utilize my library a lot. I really like my library. I like going there. I like taking my kids there. If there is a book that's really popular, I'll just put myself on the waiting list and wait for it. If I really enjoy a book that I read from the library, then I am more inclined to go out and look for it, or I might even buy it full price if I really like it that much. First two books I have for you today are the first two books in the World Walker trilogy. That is Trial by Fire and Fire Walker. These were a Christmas gift that I received from my mother-in-law. I have yet to read either one of these books. I do plan to get this first one done hopefully in the month of January. Now this book is kind of a paranormal. I think it's about witches and witchcraft. I know that it has an alternate universe. I know that the main character is kind of a sickly girl. She has a lot of allergies, seizures, things like that. She goes to a party one night, like falls unconscious, something happens to her, I don't know. And she wakes up in this alternate universe where there are witches and magic, and it just sounds pretty cool, everything that I'm into. So if I like these two, I will go ahead and get that third book, but we'll see where these two take me first. Next on my list is a book that I purchased from a used bookstore. I don't know if this book was used or not. It looks like it's in pretty good condition, and that book is Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. I don't know very much about this book. I do know that this is a young adult. It's described as like a gothic horror novel. It revolves around a girl. She kind of falls for this mysterious guy that moves into their guest house. Weird things start happening around her life. In her life, people start dying. I know there's like kids being summoned to cemeteries, all kinds of creepy stuff. And I think it's just about her struggle with him being evil. Sounds kind of sinister. Pretty much everything that I love in a book. Next on the list is a box set that I got for Christmas. This is the Modern Fairy Tales box set. It includes Tithe, Valiant, and Ironside. This is by Holly Black. I really don't know much about this. It had been on my Amazon wishlist for a little while. I know that I really like Holly Black. I've read a few of her books. I really enjoy her writing. So I'm looking forward to getting into this trilogy. Probably won't get to this for a while, only because I'm trying to get through my TBR for the first half of this year of 2016 is pretty much things that have been on my TBR for a while, or series that I need to finish, and I just don't want to read that third book because I don't want the series to end, which we're going to get to in a little while with another one from today. So it's going to be a while before I get to this, but I am excited. The next book that I'm going to talk about is a book that I picked up at the used bookstore. It was a few dollars. It was like $3 or $4. And I've been looking for it for quite some time, and that is Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning. Now this is the first book in the Fever series. I have another one of these books, not this one, but one in the series that I got a couple weeks ago. I found at like Goodwill or something. Picked it up. I think it's the third book in the series in anticipation of getting this book because I knew I've been wanting this book. This book centers around Michaela, or Mac, she goes by. She lives here in the US. She gets a phone call saying that her sister, who lives in Dublin, has been murdered. She finds a mysterious voicemail from her sister on her phone, and she flies to Dublin to kind of like get some answers, see what's going on. Now the thing about Mac is that she can see into the Fae world. So I know that it has magical elements. I really don't know that much more about it. I really don't need to know that much more about it because that's all I need to know, and it totally intrigued me enough to go out and buy it. The next book is a book in a series. It is not the first book, I believe it's the third, and that is Brandon Sanderson's The Hero of Ages. This is a Mistborn book from the Mistborn series, which has been on my TBR for quite some time now. I am looking for the first Mistborn book. I can't really find it in any used bookstores, probably because nobody wants to give it up because it's so dang good. Now, as soon as I get my hands on that, I will be restarting that series. Like, the second, I'll probably be driving home in the car with the book, opening it, trying to read and drive at the same time, which I shouldn't do, but I'm that excited to start the Mistborn series. I know I'm gonna love it. That's why I went ahead and got this when I had the chance, because I don't find these too often in the used bookstores. I am on the wait list for the library to get it, but there's like 4 or 5 people ahead of me, which means it's going to be a few more months before I can get it. I'm probably just going to go ahead and order it on Amazon or something like that so I can finally start to read it. The next book is the 3rd book in a series. I got this book from the library. Now, that is Monsters and Men by Patrick Ness. This is the 3rd book in the Walking Chaos trilogy. I own the first 2 books. They are here. They are beautiful. The Knife of Never Letting Go and The Ask and the Answer. I love this series so much. I don't want it to end, which is why I haven't read the 3rd book yet. I got it from the library. I'm gonna purchase it. I just need to go on Amazon. I just didn't want to wait for it to come in. So I'm gonna get started on this probably, maybe even today or tonight. Really looking forward to seeing how this series ends. If you don't know what it is, it's like a sci-fi dystopian type of book. It centers around Todd, who is a young boy in a town where there are no women. He doesn't really know. They tell him why, but nothing ever really makes sense. Now, the thing about this town is that all the men can hear each other's thoughts, which is very odd. One day, Todd stumbles out into the woods further than he's supposed to go, and he finds a girl. And the weird thing is that he cannot hear this girl's thoughts. So not only is one, she a girl, which he has never seen before in his life, 2, he can't hear her thoughts, which hasn't happened either. So there are, the villain in this is really good. He's just a human being. It's not, sorry, babysitting. It's not anything magical or mystical, but he is a human and he is awful. It just kind of shows you the very worst that humanity can be. He is a perfect example. So I really like when villains are very human, you know. Don't get me wrong, I love a good beast, but I love the human aspect of this book too. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I heard that the way it ends is really good. I will be doing a review on this entire series as soon as I'm done with this. The next book I got from the library, and that is Cinder by Marissa Mayer. Now, I am finally jumping on the Lunar Chronicles train here. I know it's been a while. This is one of those series that really, I didn't know if the hype was going to be worth it. Sometimes there's all these hype books and it's like, that was alright. Don't want to name any names, champion. This is one of those books that I know that my now 9-year-old daughter is going to be into later on in life, and I was kind of putting it off, maybe thinking reading it with her, reading the series with her, but I'm probably going to enjoy it, and in a few years, I'll probably want to go back and reread it anyways. So excited to get started on that one. The last book that I'm going to talk to you about today I got at the library as well, and I am super excited to read it. That is You by Carolyn Kepnes. Now, this book is kind of all over BookTube right now. I've been hearing really great things. It intrigued me to want to go out and read it. This is an adult psychological thriller. The way that it has been described is like very creepy, centers around a guy named Joe. He is a bookseller, and one day a girl stumbles into his bookstore and he like instantly falls for her. Kind of becomes a little, let's say, psycho and starts to stalk her. He stalks her through email, social media, kind of learns everything about her. Now, what's interesting about this book is, you know, usually when you read a book about a psycho killer or, you know, just somebody who's a little off, you're like, what is this person thinking? They are insane. Well, in this book, it is told from Joe's perspective, so you get to know exactly what that psycho stalker is thinking, because he will tell you in this book. So I'm really excited to read this. I'm hoping this is one of those like creepy books that I kind of can't read too late into the night, or kind of makes me go back and recheck, make sure I lock that front door. Mom, you'll be happy about that. So those are the books I picked up over the last few weeks. Hopefully I get at least 2 or 3 of them read this month. I am a slow reader and I don't have a lot of free reading time. So if I can get 2 or 3 of those done, I will be very happy with myself. Leave me a comment below if you have read any of these books. If you have any suggestions, maybe something similar, or you know of a series that is similar to something that I was describing. I would love to check something new out, put some more books on my TBR, because God knows I need to. Okay, hope y'all are having a fabulous day. Bye-bye.